They call India the final frontier, a fortress where visiting teams come to survive, not conquer. But in 4 days in Guwahati, that fortress didn't just crack, it crumbled into dust. South Africa hasn't just beaten India, they have dismantled them. A 2-0 whitewash, a 408-run margin. This isn't just a defeat, it is a historic shifting of power. Today on Royal News Challengers, we aren't just looking at the score, we are dissecting the disaster. This is the autopsy of India's humiliation. The stage was set in Guwahati, a venue hosting its maiden test. The surface looked good, the crowd was ready. But when Temba Bavuma won the toss, the script was written against the hosts immediately. India expected a rollover. What they got was a wall. It started slowly, Markram, Rickelton, and Dezorzi seeing off the shine. But the real damage wasn't done by the top order. It was done by the resistance. Enter Senyoran Muthusemi. While India looked for quick wickets, he dropped anchor. A century of pure grit. But if Muthusemi was the anchor, Marco Jansen was the sledgehammer. Coming in down the order, Jansen played an innings for the ages. 93 runs off just 91 balls. He counterattacked a tired Indian bowling unit, dragging South Africa to a mammoth 489. Nearly 500 runs on the board in India. The game was halfway lost right there. India needed a response. They needed a hero. Instead, they got a horror show. Yashasvi Jaiswal showed a flicker of fight with 58, and Washington Sundar chipped in, but the middle order, non-existent. It was Marco Jansen again. Not content with his batting, he tore through the Indian lineup with the ball. 6 wickets, pace, bounce, and aggression. India folded for 201, a trail of 288 runs. The follow-on was avoided, but the humiliation was inevitable. South Africa didn't just want to win, they wanted to bury the hosts. In the second innings, Tristan Stubbs went into T20 mode, smashing 94. Bavuma declared mercilessly, setting India a target that wasn't a chase, it was a hallucination. 549 runs. Ravindra Jadeja picked up 4 wickets, trying to keep the pride alive, but the body language of the team was already defeated. They walked out to bat on day 4, staring at the Everest. And then the final twist. India, famous for their spin, were spun out by a visitor, Simon Harmer. He didn't just spin the ball, he spun a web. 6 wickets for 37 runs. A masterclass on how to bowl on a day 4 Indian track. Jadeja fought with a 50, but he was the captain of a sinking ship. India, all out for 140. A defeat by 408 runs. The silence in the stadium was deafening. So how did this happen? We have to look at the leadership. Rishabh Pant, thrust into the captaincy, looked lost. His scores of 13 and 7 didn't help, but his field placements were reactive, not proactive. And the management, Gautam Gambhir is now staring at 2 home whitewashes in 2 years. The decision to leave out Ashwin, baffling. The lack of a backup opener, negligent. Without Gill to anchor the top and Jadeja alone to control the middle, India looked like a team with no plan B. South Africa deserves every headline. Bavuma led with calm, Jansen played with fire, and Harmer brought the magic. They have done what Australia and England could only dream of. For India, the fortress has fallen. The invincibility cloak is gone. The question is no longer when will they win. It is how do they stop the rot. This was the Guwahati disaster. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe and tell us in the comments. Is it time for a new captain? Let's argue below.